on World Report. Militias are back. Stronger?
Obviously, and we all were called to not overthrow the government, but maybe help create a new one. I would hope to think that we'd be ready to do that.
And angrier than ever.
Power to the Second American Revolution! Power to the armed resistance movement!
Are these men patriots or domestic terrorists? All that tonight on World Report. Now here's correspondent Carol McKinley reporting from Austin, Texas.
The people are arming up in mass. You see a huge tyranny being constructed that people go, well, we better revive the militia.
You will make your last and stupid mistake when you declare martial law and try to round us up. But we will fight to the death and take you with us.
Look, they're not getting our guns. This is real tyranny. This isn't boss hog corruption. This is what Hitler came out of, but worse.
Hello, America. Did you wake up, Paul?
An increasing number of Americans believe the second revolution is imminent. They say the United States government has gotten too powerful and they are pushing back. Talk show radio hosts like Alex Jones are leading the charge.
In 1776, like Alex brought up, we didn't shoot first either. They come over to get the guns and they stuck guns in our face. They come marching down the road, and that's how you know who your enemy is.
The militia movement is making a big comeback. Thousands of men and women are training at shooting ranges, in the woods, and on farms to defend themselves against what they see as an out-of-control federal government.
As the tyranny pushes them into a corner, like Lexington and Concord, they're going to stand up for their rights. And then the establishment, who are bullies, will probably fire the first shot in the Second American Revolution. And then all hell's going to break loose. In the next 2 years, you will see the start of a real revolution in the United States. Spy.
Jones claims he reaches 1 million people a day, 6 days a week. Many listeners are militia members. Most of them are convinced the federal government is out to get them.
Long with the Republic, Mike in South Carolina. You're on the air. Go ahead, Mike.
I'm here to tell you that I'm convinced, God willing, we will be the majority when we're called up by the Holy Spirit.
Also, burning up the internet, many shadowy militia groups are making a call to arms with battle cries like liberty or death.
Power to the Second American Revolution! Power to the armed resistance movement! We are on the rise! Rise, great people of freedom! Revolution is at hand!
We will not let you take over our homes and our families and our lives. We will fight you with everything we have, every energy, every strength.
If you need the militia, they're always there for you.
The militia movement is growing, and fast. A recent study by the Southern Poverty Law Center cited an unnamed federal agency's estimate that 50 new militia training groups have sprung up in less than 2 years. A recent Homeland Security report warned of the recent increase in right-wing extremist activities, saying they are our most dangerous domestic threat. The assessment stated the consequences of a prolonged economic downturn could create a fertile recruiting environment for right-wing extremists and even result in confrontations between such groups and government authorities similar to those in the past. Experts say it is a perfect storm, a crippling recession, a Democratic president, and long-standing fears of a growing federal government, all adding fuel to a simmering fire.
There's been a massive expansion in the attendance at both the meetings and the trainings.
Graduate student Amy Cooter has spent 1.5 years studying militia groups in Michigan. She's found it's hard to get exact figures because of the militia's secrecy, but the trend is clear.
If you go to the meetings and trainings regularly like I do, you can see it. The numbers have just grown. They had to, they packed them into their regular meeting location, and usually it was like a half of a room filled before January or so, and now there's sometimes standing room by the end of the meeting only.
Things will turn around.
One of these groups is led by this mild-mannered truck driver.
Hi, guys.
Named Mike Lackamer, a.k.a. the Mad Hatter. Mad Hatter is a proud team leader of the Southeast Michigan Volunteer Militia and says these days recruiting isn't a problem.
We've got people that are young. We've got people that are just out of the military. We've got people that are Vietnam veterans. So, you know, it pretty much runs the entire gamut there. I own many firearms.
How many?
Let me think about it. I own 4 rifles, 5 handguns, and a shotgun.
No AR-15s, huh?
I have 2 AKs.
You do?
Yes.
When he's not delivering truckloads of pharmaceuticals, Lackmar trains with his militia once a month. With live firearms, semi-assault weapons, and full battle dress. In fact, Lackmar believes the extreme paramilitary organizations have given groups like his a bad name.
It concerns me, the image they're putting forth. It terrifies me that somebody's going to do something stupid, which is going to cause a clampdown on everybody.
But it's clear he feels the hopelessness brought on by the recession. He lives in a suburb of Detroit, Michigan, which at over 15% has the nation's highest unemployment rate. The afternoon we followed Mike, his boss gave him the bad news that he had lost a shift at work, likely meaning fewer hours.
I got a plan put together that would run you 3 days versus 5 days, and the 2 days in between would run the dedicated Walmart Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Okay.
I think it's reflective of how a lot of people, especially, mainstream middle-class white America, is responding to the economic problems that we have and to the Democratic president who's in charge of handling the mess that we have.
If any of this sounds familiar, it should. In the 90s, during the Clinton administration, the modern militia movement was born. Then Ruby Ridge and Waco happened. In both events, militia members blamed an overreaching and dangerous federal law enforcement for civilian bloodshed. The militia battle cry, "Remember Ruby Ridge and Waco," is still used to this day.
Those are 2 incidents that were really important in the formation of the militia movement as a whole. They were incidents where the government was seen as really overstepping their bounds and infringing on individual and personal liberty and your right to do what you want as an American citizen.
The American militia movement of the 90s came to a terrible crescendo in 1995 when Timothy McVeigh bombed the federal building in Oklahoma City. Militia members say they had nothing to do with Oklahoma City, but the fears which are stoked by Alex Jones and others are at their root the same ones so prevalent in the 90s. He tells his listeners Barack Obama represents a shadow government run by a secret international group which plans to rule the world, and it's up to the constitutionally appointed militia to bring power back to the people.
This is a war they're going to lose. The people, the spirit of liberty has been ignited. The spirit of 1776 has risen, and it's over. It's over. The New World Order is defeated.
So do you think we're going to see Americans fighting Americans? Is that what's going to happen?
You're going to see the feds try to march the military and police up against the American people, and you're going to see amazing things happen.
Members of the militia movement say they will rise up just like the Patriots did in 1776 and take back their government if need be. Let her rip! While Mike, a.k.a. Mad Hatter, plays soccer with his daughter, he describes what would make him take up arms.
My biggest fear is the day will come when me standing here talking to you about this with a camera in front of me will get a knock on my door. The most powerful tool I have is my mouth. If you take that away from me, then I have to go to the other tools in my toolbox.
Which are?
Which are the weapons, which is force. Freedom of speech is the most important right we have. When that's taken away from us, that's when the shoe drops. My wife's brother has 3 more puggles. So when they're all out here barking...
Below a calm demeanor, Lackmar is plenty worried about protecting his family. Some might say paranoid. But seeing him play with his daughter, you'd never know it.